Igbo, kweli! 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 Nke ahụ nke anyị.
Thank you very much. Now I have your attention. Very important. I'll start by making a few statements and then in a few hours, 6 years ago, I was lowering my dad into a grave. And it was a few years away from 100. On the 30th of November, which is today, 6 years ago. And a few weeks after that, I arrived in Auckland. And I called the traditional ruler of my hometown and I said, thank you for your support. And he made a statement. He said, and I'll say it in Igbo before I say it in English. He said, essentially, it is the honor of children who have been received at birth to also what? Lay their parents down and rest. And if you're privileged to have your mother or father here, that's the biggest privilege you can ever have. Biggest. My mom died when I was 11. A few weeks after I got to federal military. So if you're privileged to have your mother and father here, forget about the stories you want to talk about, the things you felt you should have had, you never had. And if they're in this room, just tell them, thank you for being there for me. I want to take this time to recognize, that's my daughter, that's my daughter. I happen to have cut the umbilical cord mentioned before. A privilege. I have the singular honor of recognizing a woman who has done so much. Who is Kiwi, went to Nigeria, lived in Igbo land, dressed like an Igbo woman, whose sons speak Igbo better than some people here. I know she's smiling at me. I want you to join me as I welcome Elizabeth Isichei on stage. She's a distinguished scholar of Igbo and African history. Mom, permit me to read this if you don't mind. Elizabeth Isichei, born Elizabeth Mary Allo on March the 22nd, 1939 in Tauranga, New Zealand, is a renowned historian and academic who has made significant contributions to the study of Igbo history and culture. She's the daughter of Albert, an agricultural scientist, and Lona Allo. A bit of a look at her academic career. If you have the brochure, you see it on page 7. She was educated at Tauranga College and attained the highest marks in New Zealand in 1955 University Entrance Scholarship Examinations. She went on to study at the University of Canterbury, from where she graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1960 and won a Senior University Scholarship. She then completed a Master of Arts with First Class Honours in History at Victoria University of Wellington in 1961. Her honours thesis formed the basis of her book, Political Thinking and Social Experience, published in 1964. She won a Commonwealth Scholarship, and after a brief period as a temporary assistant lecturer in history at the University of Canterbury, undertook doctoral studies at Norfolk College, Oxford. Her DPhil thesis, completed in 1967, was titled Quakers and Society in Victorian England. At Oxford, Ella met Peter Isichei, a chemical pathologist. The couple became engaged in 1963 and married on 23rd July 1964, going on to have 5 children, the oldest of whom sitting right behind Mom. Elizabeth Isichei was a professor in the Department of History at the University of Jos in Nigeria from 1976 and was general editor of Jos Oral History and Literature texts. She had said that having both a family and a career would not have been possible if my husband had not gone to any lengths to help and encourage me. So if you have a supportive husband, you should do well to appreciate them. I guess my wife is listening. She was a visiting fellow in 1984, and in 1992 was appointed a professor of religious studies at the University of Otago. On her retirement from Otago in 2005, she was accorded the title of Professor Emeritus. Her works and books are centered on Christianity in Africa and the history of Nigeria, particularly the Igbo people, including a biography of Michael Tansey, and the books are here on display. The first Nigerian Tapist monk. She also wrote on contemporary developments in New Zealand Catholicism and on religious meanings of Colin McCahon's art. In 1992, Elizabeth was awarded a Doctor of Letters degree by the University of Canterbury. She was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of New Zealand in 1997. About the highest honor you could get in that. But no longer holds that fellowship because he retired. In poetry, before going to Oxford in 1962, Prof. Isichei established a reputation as a poet with her work appearing in publications including the Listener Landfall, Comment, and the Poetry Yearbook. She returned to poetry in the 1990s and a poem to publish in the Listener Winter Spin and various anthologies, as well as her unpublished collections, a number of which I have on display here. A history of the Igbo people, which are under her books and publications. This landmark work provides a detailed account of the Igbo's history, covering various aspects of their social, economic, and political life from pre-colonial times, please, to modern day Nigeria. The book delves into the traditional Igbo history, their encounters with colonial powers, and the impact of these interactions on their cultural and political landscapes. The Igbo people and the Europeans, the genesis of a relationship to 1906. In this book, Isichei examines the early interactions between the Igbo people and European traders, missionaries, and colonial administrators. It provides an in-depth analysis of how these encounters influence Igbo society and culture. Igbo Walls, an anthropology of oral histories and historical descriptions. A pioneering attempt to share historical data, especially oral traditions. And if you understand the African culture, it suffers from oral traditions not being written. Her research on African Christianity. She's written extensively on the interaction between Christianity and African traditional religions. Her works explore how Christianity was adopted and adapted by various African societies, with a particular focus on the Igbo people. A history of Christianity in Africa from antiquity to the present. This comprehensive history traces the development and spread of Christianity across the African continent. She went on in her later book, The Religious Traditions of Africa, a history, paid equal attention to the history of Islam and traditional religion, highlighting the unique ways in which it was integrated into different cultures, including the Igbo. I'll look at a number of her selected works, but before then I'll say this. Isichei's meticulous research and publications have played a crucial role in preserving the rich history and cultural heritage of the Igbo people. Her work ensures that future generations have access to well-documented historical accounts. Her academic influence, her scholarly contributions have influenced a wide range of academic disciplines, including history, anthropology, religious studies, and African studies. She has provided valuable insights that have shaped the understanding of Igbo culture and history. By documenting the history and experiences of Igbo people, Isichei has contributed to a more nuanced and comprehensive representation of African cultures in academic literature. And I'll look at her personal background. Being a Kiwi who immersed herself in Nigerian and Igbo cultures is a testament to her dedication and passion for understanding and documenting the histories of diverse peoples. Her cross-cultural experiences have enriched her perspective and approach to historical research. There are selected works here, some of which are on display. And I'll just make this statement. Elizabeth's books have been out of print for many years, and so many people have wanted to have them. So she's in the process of making the books available again. Since she retired, Elizabeth has been deeply involved in projects to alleviate poverty in Zambia. And the profit made from this reissued books will go to this cause. I'll say this finally. Elizabeth Isichei's contributions have been instrumental in shedding light on the complexities and richness of history and culture. Ndi Igbo Association New Zealand extends our deepest gratitude and admiration to Elizabeth Isichei for outstanding contributions. Her legacy will continue to inspire and illuminate the paths of many years to come and continues to inspire scholars and students in the field of African studies.
Thank you, Ollie, and thank you, everybody. I wrote some of these books 50 years ago, so as you can see, I've got a little bit old in the meantime. But it's a great privilege to be here with you all tonight. You're all Igbo families who made your home in New Zealand, and I'm a Kiwi who for a very long time made my home in Igbo land. Until I met my late husband and we got married, I knew nothing about Nigeria, I knew nothing about Igbo culture. But we all have our different gifts which we bring to the society we live in. And since I was an academic historian, it was my gift as a historian that I was able to bring to my husband's people. And I look back on that, not only myself, but also the students I gathered. One of my students got a PhD and became a professor at Yale. It wasn't just me, it was my students, people I worked with. And I looked back on that with a great sense of privilege and joy. And I thank you for coming here this evening. May God bless you all.
I know she didn't see this one coming. Permit me to welcome the president of Ndi Igbo Association New Zealand, Mazi Obinna Obareke, on stage to do me this honor. That's our president.
Igbo, kweli. Guy. He said, this is our own. You see, I know that a lot of people here will appreciate the veracity and the enormity of the work she has done. But if you are an academic like me, you will understand how distinguished her work is. It's hard to be an academic and publish, then it's very hard to be an academic historian and publish in a culture that you were not born into. So I want us to give her another round of applause. So I am honored to be called up here to present this award to you, but I feel I am unqualified to do this. You know, but I will still do it anyway. So, Professor, this is Isichei. Ndi Igbo New Zealand today recognizes what you've done for the Igbo people and the veracity of your work and how you've reached the world with the stories that you had in Igbo land and the things that you saw. We also appreciate the students you taught at the University of Jos and how you've grown our culture and how you've educated our people. Thank you very much. We present you this award.
I'm Elizabeth's elder son, but my brother, Ben, is there, Mecca. He's wearing the nice red shirt. My sister, Chinyere, is there. My wife, Patricia, is there. And my two children, Lucy and Chinyere, are in the back. We just, my mom is quite well known. It's very strange to be better known in another person's country than in your own country. So my mom isn't very well known in New Zealand, but if I say the name Isichei anywhere I am in Nigeria, everybody asks me, are you related to Elizabeth? And many people don't realize she's white. So it's a complication. And I jump, Ndi Igbo nyocha. How come Ndi Igbo nyocha? Goodbye. I don't know when you get what people ask. You got okay, kind of spots on you. If I don't get an answer, wow, and I will not get on your channel about you got just a good year. My game on your chat, people get to live. I never have an answer. Never have an answer. I say to go it out. It's another Unafubia, ukanya unaeba. Imande ba ina tu na sinagari mwanye kalanka. Ile netse okono sikanso ban. Na ajo agari mwanye kalanka. Ile sita japo endo anya ya. Obananye. Obro believe kono metata. Maslo na so obro believe kono metata. Anye kene ono niile. Nugo dawo so. She used to drive, so there are younger people who are here. There are younger people here. My mom used to drive from Enugu to Nsukka on her own. There are very few people as well that leave during a civil war to go back home. They went home, my mom and dad went home in 1971, 72. Once the Civil War finished. So to give you some context, that's like you planning now to leave New Zealand and go back to Afghanistan or to go back to it doesn't make sense. How do I find out? So I think that it really means a lot to her. It means a lot to all of us today that you guys have supported us like this. We, as a family, we just want to thank you. That was so. I appreciate it.